Hello everybody, this is your main Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Sunday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinals for our 12-13 Miami Heat road to the NBA Finals Series. And we are evenly tied up 1-1 against the 07-08 Boston Celtics. And Boston had won last episode at home when we were at home in Miami. It was like 94-87 was the final score, and I think Paul Pierce might have been player of the game for the Celtics. So this time we're actually going to be in Boston for games 3 and 4, and then back to Miami games 5 and 6 if if Boston wins one more game or two. It's going to vary among that. So we're going to show you the uniforms, and we'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, so the Miami Heat are going to be wearing their black icon uniforms. On the road, I decided to make them wear the black icon that said Miami on it, because that's what they really wore during the 12-13 season, because it just says the Heat word on that. So it's going to go more to the icon uniforms. And the Boston Celtics are just going to be wearing their standard white home uniform. So without any further ado, we'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, it is tip-off time here at the TD Garden in Boston. So the Celtics win the tip-off. So now it is Rajon Rondo going to pass it over to Kendrick Perkins. He gets that in for 2 points. So now Dwayne Wade is out on the court, going to pass it over to LeBron James. The Akron, Ohio native makes that three. And it is now a 3-2 Miami Heat lead. So now Rondo going to pass it over to Paul Pierce, and then some Kevin Garnett gets it in for 2. So it's now going to be 4-3. So now we got D Wade out on the court making that dunk for the Miami Heat. The Celtics are home. And in case if you guys are wondering, I just started the 07-08 Boston Celtics series today for Road to the 2K Finals. So if I get mixed up, I apologize for that. I'm just doing multiple of them at one time just to do this entertainment for you guys, and I really enjoy it. So now Dwayne Wade, changing subject. Dwayne Wade made 2 free throws, and it's now going to be 7-4. Rondo has possession. He's going to pass over to Paul Pierce. So now Paul Pierce is going to pass over to Rondo, and then back to Pierce, and then Garnett going to pass over to Ray Allen, number 20. And Ray Allen makes that 3, and it is evenly tied up here in Boston, 7-7. And now we got LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, going to make that 3 happen, and he actually goes in. So he's had 2 threes all episode, really. So now Paul Pierce losing the basketball. He's going to go up to the paint, gets it in, and we're going to actually use some Chris Bosh. So now Chalmers going to pass it over to Bosh, loses possession. Perkins makes the steal. Ray Allen going to go into the paint. Well, not exactly to the paint, but Paul Pierce, he's going to pass over to Perkins, and I think Paul Pierce is going to get that assist. Boston takes the first lead of the game. So now LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, makes a 3, and it's now going to be 13-11 here in the TD Garden. So now Rajon Rondo with possession, LeBron James making the steal. He's going to go up into the paint, makes the dunk, and it's now 15-11. All right, Paul Pierce is out on the court. He's going to attempt a 3 for the Boston, actually a 2-pointer. Why did I think it was going to be a 3? It wasn't a 3 at all. But field goals wise, both teams are at 100%, which is really good. Now down to 83 since D Wade missed a 3. So now it is Ray Allen going to make that in for 2. So it is evenly tied up, 15-15. We're going to actually take a break. Miami with a timeout. All right, the break is over. Sam Cassell going to pass it over to Tony Allen. And it is now 20-19, Juwan Howard going to pass it over to Mike Miller, and then Ray Allen, number 34. So now Ray Allen, number 34, is going to make a three, and it's now going to be 23-19. So Miami is up by 4 at the moment. So now Sam Cassell has possession of the basketball. Now it's Udonis Haslem, which, by the way, he's the only active remaining player with the Heat that is still with the Miami Heat from the 2012-13 season. Not to mention, he also played alongside with Shaquille O'Neal and all them other great players. So Juwan Howard went to the free-throw line. He got it in there, so it's now 26-19. Miami is up by 7 on the road. So now Tony Allen loses possession of the basketball, and he goes out of bounds. So the 03-04, the 07-08 Boston Celtics have possession of the basketball. I almost said 03-04 Pistons. So now Sam Cassell makes that three with 0.2 seconds to go. I don't think that we're going to actually get any more points for the first quarter, and we don't. But we lead by 5 points over the 07-08 Boston Celtics. Alright, so now Udonis Haslem is going to pass it over to LeBron James. And LeBron James is going to pass over to Ray Allen, number 34. And Ray Allen gets it in for 3, so it's now 29-21. And Sam Cassell has possession of the basketball. He's going to pass it over to Tony Allen. He makes that dunk happen. It is now 29-23. LeBron James, number 6, is going to try to go in the paint there, get it in for 2 points. So it's 13 points for LeBron James so far. So now Sam Cassell has possession of it, but then he's going to pick it back up. So now Sam Cassell, he's going to pass it over to Glenn Davis, and Glenn Davis makes the dunk. And it's now 31-25 here in Boston. So we're going to pass it over to LeBron James. And LeBron James makes that dunk in the paint. So now Boston is down by 8 points. So now Tony Allen going to pass it over to Davis. And then Leon Poe has possession of the basketball. He's going to pass it over to Sam Cassell. So now we're trying to play some defense here, and it's now going to be 33-27. We're going to pass it over to the great LeBron James, the GOAT, and he's going to make that three fly from behind the arc, and it's going to be 36-27 here at TD Garden. So now Ray Allen and the 07-08 Boston Celtics are taking that timeout, so we're actually going to take a break. Alright, we are back from break. We have 1 minute and 16 seconds to go, so I'm going to think about passing this over to Shane Battier. So now Shane Battier makes that three happen, and it's now going to be 46-29. Boston is down by 17 points, so now Rajon Rondo is going to pass over to Kevin Garnett, gets it in there, and it's now going to be 46-31. So now Chris Bosh makes a dunk for the Heat. It's now 48-31. So now Miami is up on the road. So now Paul Pierce, he's going to pass over to Rajon Rondo. So now Rajon Rondo, where is he actually going to take this direction to? He's actually going to go up in the paint, gets it in there, and it's now 48-33, so there's quite a bit of time left. LeBron James with the possession. I'm thinking about doing a crossover, going into the paint, and he actually gets it in there. Even though it wasn't a dunk, we still got the points for it anyway. So now Paul Pierce losing the basketball, then picking it back up. So now Pierce, he's going to go into the paint. And it is now 50-35. So now we got LeBron James. He's going to go up to the paint, makes the dunk. 13.7 seconds to go. So now Paul Pierce losing that basketball, then Pierce picking it up. And Kevin Garnett passing it over to Rondo. Losing the basketball, Juwan Howard picking it up. And this ends the first half here in Boston. Miami is up by 17 points, so that's something really good to see along the lines there. Miami's hoping to make a comeback from what happened last episode, so that's going to be something interesting to see along the lines as well. All right, so now LeBron James, 22 points, 1 assist, and 1 steal. So now LeBron James is out on the court. He's going to pass over to Shane Battier and then some Mike Miller and then back to Shane Battier, the Duke product. He's going to actually make that three happen. And it is now 55-35, so we're up by 20 points no matter what the game brings to us. Rondo, what is he going to do? Will he actually pass it over to Paul Pierce, and Rondo is going to pick up the assist, so it's now going to be 55-37, and I'm actually going to use some D Wade out on the court. We're going to try to make a three happen for Wade, because that first attempt, he did not make it in, so it was wide right. So now Rondo with the possession of the basketball, losing it. D Wade picking up the steal for the Heat, makes that dunk happen, and it is now 60-37. So now Rajon Rondo has possession of the basketball. Where is he actually going to take this direction to anyway? So now Rondo, he has possession. He's going to pass over to Paul Pierce. So now Paul Pierce is going to pass over to Rajon Rondo. So now Rondo gets it in for 2 points. So the Heat are going to take a timeout. We're actually going to take a break. Alright, so now Kevin Garnett makes it in for 2 points, so it's now 62-48. So now I'm going to pass it over to Dwayne Wade and then some LeBron James. So now LeBron James going to get this one in for 2 points, and it will now be 64-49. So LeBron James with 24 points and Paul Pierce with 13. They are both scoring leaders for both teams. They are the scoring leaders for both teams today. Now LeBron James has 26. He has 4 from mid-range. It's now 66-49. So now LeBron James going to pass over to Bosh. And Bosh, he gets blocked. But Bosh is going to pass over to James. So now, luckily, he did pick up that offensive rebound. And LeBron James hit a three off of that. So now Paul Pierce is going to pass over to Tony Allen. There's a foul on LeBron James. It's a shooting foul. So now Boston is going to go to the free throw line once at it. And they actually do get it in. They do get it in. So now Bosh going to pass over to Wade. And then Shane Battier, he's going to go in. And it's now going to be 71-52. 33.2 seconds to go. So now Rondo losing the basketball. Shane Battier picking it up. And there's a foul on Rondo. It's a shooting foul, by the way. And Shane Battier going to go to the free throw line. And he makes that in. So it's now 74-52. Rajon Rondo with possession. Where is he actually going to take this to? Will he actually go up to the paint? And he gets it in there. So there's now 16.2 seconds to go. So now D Wade out on the court. Going to pass over to LeBron James. And James, he's going to get this one in for 2. Now it's 76-54. And there are 10 seconds to go within the third quarter. So now Boston is down by 22. Ray Allen hits a 3. Now they're down by 19. I'm going to pass it over to LeBron James. So now it's going to be a evident 3. And it's now 79-57. End of third quarter. And Miami is taking it on the road by 22 points to end the third. Alright, State Farm assist of the game is coming right up. So now Juwan Howard with possession. He's going to go up into the paint. Gets it in there for 2. So the State Farm assist of the game, it was for Juwan Howard. So now 79-57. Ray Allen, number 20, with possession of the basketball. And keep in mind, Ray Allen was featured on both the 07-08 Boston Celtics and the 12-13 Miami Heat. So now LeBron James has possession of the basketball. He is going to go into the paint. And there is a foul. So James Posey has a shooting foul. So it's now 81-59. And it if LeBron James gets it in the free throw, which he definitely will, it is now going to be a 23-point lead. So now Rondo losing the basketball. James is going to make that steal once at it. And now we're going to try to attempt a three-pointer here from behind the arc. So it's now going to be 85-59. And it is Ray Allen with possession of the basketball. So now Ray Allen passing it over to Glenn Davis. 10 steals for the Heat and 20 points off of those steals. So they had pretty much averaged 2 points throughout it. So now 85-61, 89% in field goals, while Boston is 93%. LeBron James with the dunk. It is 87-61. So now Rajon Rondo with possession. Then Leon Pope picks it up. He's going to pass over to Ray Allen. So now Ray Allen is going to pass over to Glenn Davis. And now Rashad Lewis picks up the steal. Going to pass it over to LeBron James. So Boston is down by 26 points. But remember last episode, we lost by 7 against this 07-08 Boston Celtics team. So now LeBron James with 44 points tonight. Make that 46 since he's going to get that dunk in the paint. It is now a 30-point lead for LeBron James. So now Rajon Rondo with the possession of the basketball. Then he picks it back up, passing it over to James Posey. James Posey actually makes that three happen. And it's now 91-64. 2 minutes to go in the entire game. LeBron James making that dunk. He is definitely going to be your player of the game because of his elusive talents among him. He's made the steals, so that means he's going to go into the paint. And it is now going to be 95-64. I bet he probably had 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 steals today's episode. But he had 50 points. So that's halfway from 100. So that's halfway from breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record in 1962, which I doubt that he'll get to that today. But he did score 61 points in a game when he did play with the Miami Heat back, I think, around March of 2014. So it was one of his final season with the Heat. And I just remember it as this. I mean, my 6th grade year, LeBron James was still in Miami no matter what. So now, Juwan Howard, there is a foul. We're actually going to take a break. LeBron James is your player of the game for the Miami Heat. I will explain the numbers after the game, but we got less than 1 minute of 2K gameplay for you guys. So now, Tony Allen going to pass over to Sam Cassell, 97-67. So now Sam Cassell going to pass over to Brown. Gets it in there, but Mario Chalmers has a shooting foul. And he is going to go to the free throw line. Boston actually gets it in there. It's now 97-70. So I'm going to think about passing it over to Shane Battier to score Miami's 100th point of the game. So he scores it in. It is now triple-digit numbers. So now Tony Allen with possession, going to pass over to Brown, makes that dunk possible, and it is now 100-72. LeBron James passing it over to Chris Bosh. So now Chris Bosh, there's a foul. Scott Pollard, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Chris Bosh, and he gets it in there. So it's now going to be 103-72. 25 seconds to go. So now Mario Chalmers has picked up the basketball. We're going to pass over to Bosh, and then some Dwayne Wade makes it in there, and it's now going to be 106-72. 14 seconds to go, and it looks like that Miami is going to take the W on the road in Boston. LeBron James makes it in, so it's now 109-72. So now LeBron James gets it in, and we win it. It's 111-72 is the final from Boston, TD Garden. So Congrats on LeBron James. He is your player of the game, and we're going to go over the numbers right now. All right, LeBron James, 55 points, 2 assists, 7 steals, 8 for 8 from behind the arc, and 8 dunks for him. He is your player of the game. Dwayne Wade, 16 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 dunks on the day. 2 for 3 from behind the arc, by the way. Shane Battier, 14 points in all, 2 assists, 1 steal. For him, Ray Allen had 12 points, 1 rebound, and he had all of his points were scored by threes. Chris Bosh, 5 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 dunk on the day. Ray Allen, 13 points in all. Paul Pierce, 13 points, 4 assists, 1 block on the day. Rajon Rondo had 8 points, 6 assists. Kevin Garnett, 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists on the day. And Tony Allen had 7 points and an assist. So that wraps it up, everybody. I hope you guys really enjoyed. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next episode.